Okay, this is the Braslow One Hero Tarot 9 here on YouTube. Okay, this storyline, I'm going to try to make it so short. This storyline is as far as the statue that's in Times Square of a black lady. So the artist is supposed, it was said on the internet that it wasn't a certain lady he looked at and he designed it off of. He just came up with it some kind of way. It wasn't like a lady sitting in front of him, you know, and he sculptured her or anything like that. But some kind of way it was made up, some kind of way, however it was made up, but still. What made him even want to put a statue of a black lady up anyway? And if he did, why didn't he put an entrepreneur up? A lady who, like a business lady, why didn't he put one like that up? So when little black girls look up at the statue, they could say, oh, she pretty, I want to be like her. And then the mother can talk and tell her the story and say, yeah, you can be a business lady one day. What you want to be when you grow up? You know, but instead we have a statue there with a lady with her hands on her hips. I really can't tell. It's said online that she don't have a bra on, but I just can't tell off of just looking that she don't have a bra on. You can have a bra on, it just don't be the best bra. So I don't know with that, but it's said online that she don't. But, and she have a little weight on her. Her pants is tight. In the crouch part, I'm trying to say it right, crouch. I'm saying it right. You know what I'm talking about. In the middle, pants kind of tight right there. And what else was about her? She looked like she mad somewhat. Her having braids, that's part of what our hair be like. We have braids in our hair. So really, the braids is really not the biggest problem. It's not really a big problem. That's part of us, right? How we are. We have braids in our hair. But still, I feel like whoever this was tried to depict the worst things he could put out there for a black lady. Because usually when statues go up, you hear people say all kind of stuff about the person who the statue is of. But it's said that this statue is not even of anybody who out here, right? That nobody knows. So when they look at the statue, they can think all kind of things about the lady. And it's not going to be a bunch of positive stuff, right? Because people are going to look at her weight. People are going to look at if she got a bra on or not. People are going to look at she look like she mean. People are going to look at that she got hands on her hips like she could be ready to go fight or have an argument. See, nothing is going to be positive about looking at the statue. Nothing. Because the person who created it wanted it to be that way. But if that's his intention, to try to mold a statue and say that's how black ladies are, sir, you are wrong. You are wrong. Majority of us are nothing like that. So you are wrong. So if you're just going to put a statue, get an actual lady who's an entrepreneur, put her in front of you, and make a statue of her, and have her stand in Times Square. Not a statue with a lady that seems like she got an attitude, hands on her hips, tight pants, tight all between her legs, no bra if that's true. And the braids in her hair is not a bad thing, like I said. But if her hair was pulled back in a French roll, because it is a statue, so a statue to me is like you taking a picture, right? So if you're taking a picture, and if you're anything like me, when I take pictures, I want to look good in my pictures. That's how I operate. I don't want no any old thing as far as no picture. I want to look good. So it's like you do your pose, you have your clothes right, you have your hair right. So we talking about an entrepreneur. Put an entrepreneur there. She have her hair pulled back or her hair however, nice in place or whatever it is, and everything will be just right. But no, you chose to try to have a statue there of all the things that people can criticize about a black lady by looking at that statue, and they're going to try and say majority of ladies are like that, when really we are not. That's just like when people, they look at stuff on TV sometime and they see black people fighting or whatever they see, or whatever, or dressed a certain way, and they just think everybody dressed like that, everybody fuss all the time, or everybody fight all the time, or everybody cuss all the time. Newsflash, all of us are not like that. So people get their their views from whatever they see. So they look at TV, other races, and they say, oh, black people are like that. And then when they see somebody nothing like that, they shocked, because they got in their mind all black people are the same. Newsflash, we are not. So that statue looks nothing like me. And I don't act like how that statue is. I don't have my hands on my hips like I'm ready to fight, like I'm ready to fuss. I don't have tight pants on, all in between my legs. I don't have tight pants on, period. I don't walk around with no bra on out in the street. And I don't look like I'm mad all the time. But yeah, my face do, let me just clear that up. Yeah, my face do look like I'm mad. So let me just clear that up. Because I do look like I'm mad, but I'm not mad. That's just how my face looks until you talk to me, and then hear the smile come. Get what I'm saying? But still. Yeah, so let's just see. Because I feel like whoever this is who made the statue meant to do that to try to make black ladies look bad. Because you ain't trying to make black ladies look good, because you would have got an entrepreneur, a lady like that. No, we don't need Oprah. We don't need no movie star. We don't need Oprah. We don't need none of those ladies. We need a regular woman that's walking these city streets, that's walking these streets, that might don't even have a car. Or she might have a car, whoever it is, but she's an entrepreneur. Get what I'm saying? Whoever she is, she owns whatever she has. It could be a hairdresser, whoever she is. She could be where she own a restaurant. She can own a deli, whatever it is she own, a fish shop, whatever she own, a pet shop, whatever she own. The thing is, she own whatever it is. Get what I'm saying? You could put a lady like that there, and then the children look up and say, who is she? And then the mother can explain and say, well, she, whatever the mother say about the person. Get what I'm saying? Because usually when you see statues up, the statues usually represent somebody that they be saying good stuff about. I usually don't see statues up and I hear them say negative things about the statue. So far on the internet, I haven't heard a whole lot of good as far as the statue of this black lady. This man might think it's fine. Oh, black ladies and black people be glad they got a black lady statue. No, that's nothing to be proud of. Because you don't have a black lady up there that's an entrepreneur, a lady who got something going on for herself. You got a lady that you done made up or whatever, and you try to bring out the worst qualities. You meant to do that. You meant to do that. You meant to do that. But I don't know where you think it's going to get you at, so it'd be good if you do take it down. And next time, maybe if you decide to do a statue, how about talking to some ladies who own their businesses and then decide on which one of them you want to pick and make the statue after her. Okay, let's do the storyline for you. Because this top card said penetrated the surface. So you putting that statue up there penetrated the surface of a lot of black people, right? Women and men. It say cologne on the side, so I'm not going to say cologne. I'm going to say her clothing penetrated the surface of everybody. They're looking at her clothing, her size, her clothing, and different things about her facial expression or whatever. It penetrated the people, right? All of us out here looking, okay? Because you put out there that that the statue, the lady, needed to start falling back in love with herself. So that statue represented that the lady didn't love herself because she looked like she gained weight. She looked like she was ready to fight somewhat, hands on her hips. So you made it seem like she didn't love herself, especially with the size, and if she ain't had no bra on and tight clothes and all. This card is accurate. You worked hard on making that happen to make it look like that to people. And it's definitely online. It's moving about. I see it. So I don't know if it's not, it's going to conclude. So I don't know about that, but I don't know about it concluding because maybe one day you'll decide to take it down and put one better. Okay, because it's an issue. is a carbon copy of something that happened before. So it could be something you did before or somebody else did before when they made a statue, whatever it was. They made a statue where it made whoever the person is they got up there look bad, right? Let's just go. Here, the next card. You know what you know. It says you know you can do it, and that is put a lady there that's an entrepreneur and stand tall in it. Get what God's telling you. Okay. That statue right there could have represented a mother. That lady, that statue could have stood for a mother, right? That wanted to checkmate with somebody, because that statue looked like the lady had her hands on her hips like she wanted to checkmate. She wants somebody to listen, or she could be ready to fight. And she could have been a mother. Even if you made it up, it's still, that's how it looks, right? You wanted to beat everybody at their own game, right? And you rose to the occasion. So I don't know I don't know who you wanted to beat at their game, but because it's definitely not us. So I don't know what that was all about. Or unless you were in competition with somebody, or you felt somebody was gonna put some kind of statue up about black people or something like that, and you wanted to jump into it first, or whatever that's all about. People were sliding through loosely this way and that way to see that statue. Okay, so let's just see. Universe, you know about it. Okay, yours laser. Let me see. Yours laser focused on picking on the black ladies, right? With this card. Lately you justified it because it's on the internet. Yours knowledgeable. And yours going to place your name on a slot, lottery ticket, or a job. So when you made that statue, you put your name on a job. And that was making that statue, right? So you got something out of it. Money. You getting money some kind of way from this. Even if it's getting viewed online over and over, whatever's happening here. You're getting some money some kind of way to try to tear down black women. You might have got paid to do it. That's what's supposed to happen. Okay, I'm going to end this one. Okay, the top part right here. You wanted to wash your hands on an African American. So when you actually did that and made the depiction, that's what I'm hearing, of a black lady, as far as that statue, you wanted to wash your hands on an African American and say that they not good. They ain't really nobody. Look at her. It's like you saying, look at her. Look at them. Next card is you cheapen African American ladies' lives. I like to say black, so let's say it on the card. I want to say black ladies' lives, because that's a black woman up there, not a black man. Okay, let's just see. Let me try to end this. One more. Okay, let's say confused for a prostitute. So with that lady up there, she don't have nothing looking like she no loose lady or anything, but if you say her bra not on her, that could look like a loose lady if she don't have a bra and she walking all outside like that. Or people was confused. Let's see. People was working hard on trying to figure out really what was that statue about. We got number 5, God's number of grace. This is fun. Okay, so yours, it's a husband worthy on this card. So that statue to a man and even to us women, that statue is looking like she not wife worthy. You wanted to make her look like she wasn't wife worthy. So the more of us look at it, we felt the moisture of that. what you try to make black women look like through that statue you made. We felt the moisture of it and what it took from us, right? Or what you tried to take from us. Don't blame us for your loss, whatever stuff going on with you, whatever you feel you lost or whatever's going on with you. God, please save me. You did that for a reason. You want to be saved some kind of way. So if you are, what are you, they say? You're an artist, right? I'm an artist too. Okay, you're an artist, right? So you want to be saved some kind of way. You might think this statue going to save you some kind of way. Don't blame others. See, I say don't blame others. So don't blame us black ladies for your loss. Because you want to be saved. Maybe it's your business, maybe your career. I don't know what it is. You want to be saved. So you might think putting that statue up there is going to save you. Because something was ran up and charged to your bank account, or just ran up per it, maybe all the everything you had to put together to make that statue. Because the statue sustaining its place at the shelter, right? So we're going to say that the shelter is Times Square. That's where the statue at, right? Because a statue is sustaining itself at Times Square. That's where it's at. So let's explore a little bit. Let's just see. I'm trying to end it. I don't know why people want to make black people their whipping boy or whipping girl or black women. I don't know why. Don't try to make us your whipping boy or whipping girl. If you really meant right and meant things for the good, you would have got a lady who is a person who owned her business. I don't mean no movie star. I don't mean none of them people. I mean a regular lady from the city. Any of these cities. Any city. Black city. And have her up there. You draw her picture or whatever, and then you make the statue. And then when children look up and they say, "Who's that, mommy?" Then the mother can explain, "Oh, that is whatever the lady name is. Oh yeah, she's a stewardess or whatever it is. She a pilot or she a doctor or she a teacher, whoever it is. She a nurse, whatever it is." When the children look up at the statue, some of them, they might say, "Ma, who's that? Who is she?" And the mother don't know who she is. They just gonna say a black lady. They don't know who it is. You know how children are sometimes. They might say anything. "Oh, she fat." Or whatever they may say. You don't know what they might say. Children say a little bit of any and everything because they are brutally honest. Okay, that's just cool. You know you had bad intentions when you did that, sir. You want to save yourself. But don't use us to save yourself. Washing your hands on African American. Because that's what you call yourself doing when you did that statue. You tried to tear down the African American lady. Because it's really a killing card, so I'm trying to work it. You try to tear down a black ladies. Okay? We got number 7. So we have right here that pay attention to the details and flaws. So everybody who was looking at that statue was looking at the details and flaws. From her face, to her hair, to her hips, to her behind, to her clothes, to the ones that said she had no bra on, to her braids or whatever it was, to her frown. Everybody was looking at the details and the flaws. Pay attention to the details and flaws. Look around the corner. And they was looking around from the back to the front. They was going to check their mind so they could be superb. But you needed to check your mind before you put that out there like that. Because what was your reasoning? Okay? Can we do it now? So you chose a certain time to do it, whenever it was, to put it out there. You asked somebody, whoever you asked, You got permission from somebody to even do it. Can we do it now? What God says right here, what's going to cost you to put that out there? It's going to cost you money, what's going to cost you in something else. Complaints or whatever. Because you need to stop depending on others to grow with you. So you want somebody to grow with you some kind of way. And maybe you're doing that statue. You think that's going to give you a leg up or whatever. So we have right here that you exist for a bigger reason than what you even think. You was ready to be guided to your path. Or I'm going to take it to the statue. The statue represents a black lady. So I'm going to take it to the statue, even though they say it's not a real lady, it's not somebody who out here. Still, you displaying her as a black lady. So I'm going to make this her card. The black lady exists for a bigger reason than what you think, sir. Right? More than what you think, what you depicted in that statue. The black woman exists for a bigger reason than what you even think. She is ready to be guided to her path. Right? So, court going to be in session, yes, for you or for a black lady out here. Because we got plenty of ladies, right, at work, running through Times Square, whatever this is. So, some lady, because something going to be on the internet, TV, or whatever it may be, because you stayed on it like a gas guzzler. Or different people did, looking at that statue or whatever. So if it's not real court in session, where you going to court or a lady going to court, we're going to put it with people was looking at the statue being the judge and the jury. Get what I'm saying? So everybody had their opinion, so we're going to make that like there's the judge and the jury, if not real court. You wanted the people to desire your work, your artwork, desire me as an artist, right? But on the other side, you wanted it to look like the lady wasn't worthy. She was worthless somewhat. Don't waste your time on a lady like that. So if a man looked up at a lady like her, oh, I don't want nobody like her. Okay? You had a weakness for Karen. So I can turn it around. You didn't have a weakness for Karen about people that was black ladies. Okay? Let's just flow a little bit. I hear oil it. Something. You're gonna have to, something getting oiled. Okay, so you need to have a stable mind. How much will it take for you to change? But you made it seem like through that statue up there that black ladies need a change and they need to get a stable mind, right? Because, let me say something. You was traveling at nighttime. Or you made it seem like black ladies travel at nighttime. Maybe you was trying to make it where if people look at that, different people look at that, they can take that lady as a prostitute because it's a confused for a prostitute. Confused that you can give somebody something to make them kind of like you, or see that you're a good artist. Get what I'm saying? Let me give this statue, maybe somebody think that you wanted to work with you would think that you're a good artist. Let me give him this statue of this African American lady who like I'm cheapening by making her look like this. Where the statue, the lady need to have a stable mind, but how much would it take for her to change to make it where she could look like a prostitute, even though you can't see in the statue looking at it that right there, but they could come looking any kind of way, because if it says she don't have no bra on, you know, you usually look all kind of ways and think things about people who outside look in certain ways, right? So we have right here that, well, you say you're sorry for trying to make black ladies look like, you know, the worst, bring out the bad qualities, right? Because you didn't cherish black women. Cherish me, right? Because you was thinking a Philly way, and you might like style, whoever you are, right? So you're stifling your own problems, right? But you made that statue look like the lady was a person that had problems, going off her facial expressions, hands on her hips. You're just going to be cordial about that thing. But you needed to cherish black women because you showed you didn't with that statue. So we got 21. Number 3. We got your choice here about going to a state. Don't have to be Hawaii, but going somewhere. Maybe where you was going to put the statue at. It was a sure thing though after a while. Somebody 32, 23, or we just dealing with numbers. Follow me? You're just going to make all necessary changes to make this happen. So however you wanted the face to look, you're just going to do that. You are an artist. You put every detail in place. When I draw pictures, I look at every detail. I don't like the eyes like that. I don't like the ears like that. I don't want the neck like that. I don't want the buttons like that. You looked at every detail. You're just going to play your part. And make any changes that you needed to make it look like you wanted to. But you have ladies out here, black ladies, or black people in general, or black ladies, had deep feelings about that artwork you made. Right? You might have something, skin disorder, something on your skin. I didn't look good enough to see if she had something on her skin. You might have something on her skin. A cut or something might be on her arm that people really didn't view and see. You might have something on her arm. Right? If something not on her arm, it's something on your body. Burns, scars. It could be anything. Stab wounds, bullet wounds, pimples, freckles, bumps, whatever. Rash, eczema on you, or something you put on that statue up there. Because the statue represents a lady, so that means you could have a scar on the arm or on the face, right? You need to come up to par and do things decent. But you made it look like, as far as the statue, that the lady needed to come up to par, that she wasn't decent, that she needed to get a stable mind, and how much would it take for her to change, because she could appear like a lady who was a prostitute, where somebody could have confused her as that, especially if that's true, she didn't have a bra on, right? A lady who could have been homeless, because I don't necessarily mean that she had a home. It could be where she was homeless, because you put her in Times Square, because what that means, she homeless, right? You gotta get my drift with this storyline, because it's a shelter card. The shelter card, you don't have a home, you're not in your home, follow me? She's sustaining herself at a shelter, right? She's in Times Square, she's homeless, get my drift. You making her appear like somebody who's homeless. You confuse her for somebody you can give money to, or somebody could, by looking at that statue up there. It could go either way. She don't have clothes on like hookers and those kind of people, but you don't have to wear clothes like that these days. You can wear regular clothes and be a lady who somebody think that you a certain way just because you're homeless. Okay? So let's just go on. The same card came up. So we have right here, when you lose a spouse to death, you are free. So I don't know if you lost a loved one of yours or a friend of yours, anything like that. But we might have a black lady that lost a loved one of hers who see that statue right there. But you don't know how you made that statue look. How you made the statue look. That could be how a person look when they going through grief. Feeling a certain kind of way. Want to go see what happened. You know the expressions, hand on your hips. You want to go see what happened. You mad, you thinking. Okay? Well, you might have went through something with somebody. It's obvious. You weren't going to be scared of nothing. And with the statue, you made her look like she wasn't scared of nothing. Her hands was on her hips. And she was ready for whoever was coming her way. But you weren't going to be scared of nothing either, right? Healthy means that you're going to love you first, yourself. When you put that statue up there, you're thinking about yourself, right? I'm ready for a healthy love. You're ready for a healthy love. right? But looking at that statue up there, you didn't make her look like she loved herself, because you had her with weight on her, her clothes tight on her, you had her appearance looking a certain way, right? You didn't make it look like she was ready for a healthy love, right? So we had that. You was around a sinful place. Also, she was some kind of glass doors or something around whatever sinful place. So Times Square, whatever's around there, whatever they have. Do they have shops around there with glass doors, glass windows? That's where she at, right there, right? And that's where you was also, at some place like that. You feel nobody perfect though, right? Your ex ain't for you. But looking at how that statue look, it could appear like she got a problem with some ex of hers, and she got her hands on her hips because she's mad about it, right? Because you making her look a certain kind of way, where different things start swirling in your mind at the duplex, at wherever you was at, maybe making the statue, or at home or whatever, or thoughts could be, you look at her and it could be with thoughts spinning in her mind, right? But we talk about a statue, so it's not real, but you gotta look at the face and act like, listen to what I'm telling you, thoughts spinning in her mind at the duplex. So looking at her facial expression, it could look like she had thoughts spinning in her mind at the duplex, at the place you got her standing at, the shelter right there in Times Square, right? Okay, she in a beautiful state with a foreigner, right? So the next one is, she got beat. So she might have got beat. The way it's looking, how she looked, she could have been going off with a storyline in this prostitute card. She could have got beat, because it could be like where she appearing like she could be somebody can walk up on and think that she cheap. Because we got a cheap card right here. Cheap in her life. Get what I just said? African American, right? Here's the job card right before it, right? Picking on, justified, job, African American, washing your hands on, cheap in the life, prostitute. Get what I'm saying? It's coming, making it seem like no man ain't gonna want her. She not wife worthy, right? So we have right here that you beat her with your you beat her with the way you made her look like, you tried to make her look bad, right? Instead of putting a lady up there that was a lady who owned her own business, where the children look up at, or anybody look up at, and they see somebody who can inspire and had some good stuff going on with her, right? You just had a person up there. You made it where, not a person, you made a statue where it's like negative things can be said about the statue. And then when they look at the statue, they looking at black ladies, because they don't know who she is. So they're going to put it with black ladies in general. Whichever ones they look around and see, they're going to take that as them and say, oh yeah, they are like that. Whatever it might be. Or it could be like, if you look at the facial expression, it could be like where she might have went through something with somebody who beat on her. Get what I'm saying? Somebody out in the street, or somebody, if you make the statue real for a minute, make it a real person for a minute. If you can't get what I'm saying, make it a real person. Act like the statue can move, right? In some kind of way. She was homeless, out in the street. Some man approaching her as like a prostitute or whatever, because she homeless. Just because somebody homeless, that don't mean they're a prostitute, right? And then somebody beating on her because she not going along, slipping through, running and following her or whatever, and she's stuck out there in the street somewhere where she's sustaining herself at a shelter. Follow me? So we got the symbol right here. So we're dealing with a symbol, a logo, or copyright. So you got a copyright, and I guess you got the logo, and you got the symbol, right? But you made her a symbol. When you made the statue, you made her a symbol. I guess what you think of that black ladies are, and that's not true. I'm telling you. To build yourself up, you wanted to what? Why must you tear me down, they say, right? But why must you tear black ladies down? Right? Us, I'm going to say, right? So the next card is transporting of drugs or transporting of infection. So either you had some kind of infection, or you take some kind of pills or something, or we're going to take it to the statue. Because remember, the statue, you're trying to make it represent a black lady, so I got to take it to the statue. So if the lady on the street or whatever, she could have gotten some kind of infection because she is made to look like she's a prostitute if she on the street or whatever. If she don't have a bra on, like they say, and tight pants on, all that looks a certain kind of way for certain people. Everybody can look at that statue and get different stuff from it. I can look at the statue and get something different somebody else get from it. You know, everybody got their own opinions, right? On what they see when they look at the statue. Right? So we have, yours going to be bold and brave in it. And I guess yours going to love it forever because it was your work. Right? But black ladies was going to be bold and brave in it. And they going to love themselves forever because you don't depict and say how they are because you are not one of us. So we have, don't wonder why the person gay, ask the person, so can you feel your God's mission being gay? You could be a gay person. Or if not, I can't take it no other way. Unless somebody, if you take the statue, we take it to the statue and say that if the lady was out in the, if the statue, looking at the statue, if you can make that statue be alive for a little bit and take it with the cards I'm saying, because that statue, you're trying to make the statue represent black women, and so it's going to come alive on the table with my cards like that actually is a person, follow me? Because you're trying to make it how black ladies are. So God bringing it over on here as far as what you are trying to depict as far as black women, right? You're a ticking time bomb, but you try to make it seem like she was a ticking time bomb with her hands on her hips. She looking like she looking. She ready to go after somebody. Thinking, right? She anxious. She nervous or anxious. I don't think nervous. I think she anxious. She a ticking time bomb. She had her hands on her hips. And the next step is her going to fight or whatever you was trying to make that look like. Okay? So we have, it's newsflash. It's a newsflash wake up time. You needed to value others. It's right on top of African American. Right? It's right on top. Because you washed your hands on African American. This is a death card, but I got to turn it around because this ain't about death. Both of these are death cards back to back, but I'm turning them around. You washed your hands on African American. That means you try to tear black ladies down. And it's coming on top of it is, newsflash, you need to value others. And the others would be African American women. Because with that statue, you tried to cheapen African Americans' life, black women's lives. Next one is, doom is the last resort because there's not a lot of people who like that statue. So it's considered doom. Follow me? And with the statue, you tried to make it seem like she was going through something and it was going to be doom, right, for her. And that was going to be the last resort for her, right? And she would have to get a recovery for a brighter future. Strike that. It was going to be a countdown to recovery for her, right? Or it's going to be for you. So silly in me to think I can get to the Milky Way. So we look at that statue and that lady, you making it look like, if any kids look at that statue, they're not going to look at they can be a stewardess. They could be a teacher. They're going to look at that statue as some lady down the street that's around there that might not be doing anything. Get what I'm saying? With her life. And it's going to make the child think, silly of me, to think I can get to the Milky Way. Because they looking at that statue up there and think everybody's supposed to look like that statue you made. Follow me? But silly of you to think that you can get to the Milky Way, because you might think you can get to the Milky Way because you made that statue. But it says doom is going to be the last resort. Okay, so you need to dig deep and ask yourself why. Why did you think that you needed to depict black ladies as not valuable? Look like they might be a prostitute, because if she don't have no bra on, that's what it looked like. And here's the giving some money to butter somebody up. See, all this coming right behind the prostitute card, because you got to make the statue come alive. I told you with my storyline, right? Because we looking at the statue, and that statue give off a lot of stuff, and God know, because God bringing it out on the table. It's coming right underneath the prostitute card, giving the lady something, butter her up. She on the streets or whatever. A black lady. I said, God, Jesus, give her some money. She a giving. No. Okay, the next one is, I heard somebody say one time, who was that? I heard somebody say one time, all ladies is prostitutes. I heard somebody say that to their husbands, to their boyfriends, or whoever, because they get money and they be engaged with whoever they got. And then you hear some ladies talking about, if you don't have no money, you can't be my guy and all that. So some men might look at that as a form of that, because you're talking about money, right, instead of love. But whoever you are, the statue you put up there, it's got a life of its own, because God bring it on the table. On your thoughts and how you was trying to make it, and how if the statue actually come alive, and it can't come alive, but you gotta look at it like it's a real person for a minute, and that mean it would be a black person, and this is how it would be, right? You have a chance at love stand up against abuse. So you had a chance at love, but instead you wanted to create abuse. You needed to stand up against abuse and not talk down and devalue black ladies with that statue, right? So we have, with the statue, if you make it come alive for a little bit, like I'm telling you, so you can kind of get what the card's saying. Somebody might want to offer a lady, whoever it is, put her in the place of the statue, a real live woman out here, right? But put her in the place of that statue, a real live one, though. Offer some lady some money, right? To butter her up. But she need to stand up against abuse and don't take nothing from nobody, right? So a chance at love just simply means somebody offering you some money. If you're on the streets and somebody offer you some money, that's a chance at love. Somebody care, but all the time it's not like that. Because whoever ain't husband worthy, if he out there on the street trying to offer you money, he not nobody you want to make your husband. He really don't care. I got number 3. We got a news station called 3. I don't know, that's coming to me out of nowhere. Okay, so we have start to live your life. If you haven't been, start to continue your life. So we go off the statue and we make it real for a minute, make it a real human being, that a real lady out here, make that a real lady out here, right? Even, that's going through anything like how that statue look. Get my drift, right? So we have that. The statue, right? The lady will have to start to change up her life, start to live life again, if she haven't, right? Her loved one would not want her to be depressed, so she could have lost a loved one. Her husband could have died. Her boyfriend could have died. Her child could have died. Anything, right? Because looking at that statue and her hands on her hips and all, or her facial expressions, you don't know what happened. It could be where a person's relative could have just died, or whatever it is. So they might look how they look, hands on her hips and everything else. You want to know what happened, right? But going off of this person here who made the statue, his thing was to make it seem like ladies was, I feel, aggressive, right? And to demean black women, right? So if we make the statue come alive and it be a real lady out here, she would have to live her life again if she haven't been. When she not confused and being homeless, right? And turn down any money from some man out in the street because she's homeless, right? Because some man out in the street don't value you, so you should not take anything from somebody out in the street feeling his love because they really don't care, right? Because he not husband worthy. He wouldn't be for you, right? Because the thing is, that person would be treating the person like a prostitute. Her loved one wouldn't want her to be depressed, so if we got somebody, her family could have died or whatever, and then that makes you be all kind of ways, right? We got 51, or we got 15, we got number 6. So we have right here that snorting. So some kind of way, she could have been taking some kind of drug, or this person who did this statue, right? Because you're a statue, that don't mean he clean. You know his mind is not clean to make that statue right there. His mind ain't clear when he made that statue. Your mind ain't clean. That wasn't good at all, mister. Okay, so I'm saying I'm a black woman. So I'm going to stand up for a black woman because I'm one. Okay, so we have right here, this dropped. So the statue, if we bring it alive, the lady would have to believe in God's word only, not man's word, because anybody out in the street mean or no good. Because remember, that statue is in Times Square, right? That's homeless. Get what I'm trying to say to you? That's homeless. You see the shelter card I showed you? That's a shelter card. She's sustaining herself at the shelter. She's out homeless. That's homeless. She in the streets. This card right here is a shelter card when you don't have a home. That statue is homeless, is in the street, right? And that's depicting this storyline, what I'm telling you. This lady that's out there in the street, that's homeless. Get what I'm saying? So, when this person made the statue, he not doing it for the good of black ladies. God said, don't believe in man's word, believe in God's word. But she need not. If you bring that statue alive to a real lady, if a real lady was homeless out there and then out there, right, homeless and stuff, she shouldn't believe in some man out there in the street. Could be 42 or 24 and up, or 42 and up. I love them, but it won't be no romance. Somebody out there while she homeless, flirting or whatever. She liked the person or whatever, but ain't no romance coming off. Because that statue can give off all kind of stuff with different people that look at that statue. If you really look deep at different things and you let your mind operate and you see, right? But whoever this person who made the statue, he liked somebody, him or her, whoever he liked. But there ain't going to be no romance. Or he could actually call himself like black people. But he wasn't going to care about it. He was going to make that statue and make it look like black ladies is a certain kind of way. I don't want to say that other word I was going to say. Or you just holding on for life. So he wanted to make black ladies look like they just holding on for dear life because they going through all kind of stuff. Follow me? You don't have to be brave and strong in this thing for the best outcome. Where they had to be bold and brave and things for the best outcome. Or if there's a real lady out here that's homeless and she got to be brave in it and she representing that statue up there. Get what I'm saying? Think about it in full as far as the thoughts and what this statue depicts as far as a black women in general, not just one black lady. I feel he put that there for all black ladies, not just one. Because all black ladies don't look like that and don't act like that. You know, so that's supposed to be. So right here, this card saying here's chipping away at black ladies. But black ladies are a pioneer, right? So we have right here that he collaborated with somebody, and he shouldn't have. He moved fast on it and collaborated with somebody as far as making that statue, putting it up there, getting it in there for whatever reason. Okay? He said okay, but he shouldn't have did it. He needed to learn to fight his battles. I don't know. That was done for strategically for some reason. Okay? So he won his freedom, and he getting his freedom from a fortress. So how about if I say the statue? She want her freedom, and she want to be free from that fortress. And the fortress is going to be, where did he say she was? In Times Square? Times Square, that's the fortress, right? Taper it. So let's see, I'm trying to end it. That's it. Did you do it? Sir, did you do it? Did you do it because you was trying to impress others? Because you definitely didn't impress black people, black women. So did you do it because you was trying to impress others? Okay, so let me just say, you pinpointed it, and you ain't seen nothing wrong with anything, but people out here pinpointed things about the statue, and they complained about the statue. Okay, cry sometimes is good for your heart. That could actually make some black ladies cry, or it might don't, right? Or you might wanted them to cry because you wanted them to think bad of themselves or look down at themselves. Something could happen on a Thursday, Sunday, or whatever day. Tomorrow is Sunday, Mother's Day. So that statue can depict a mother, and tomorrow is Mother's Day, right? So let's just see if we can just end it. You weren't showing value. You weren't valuing black ladies when you made that statue, right? Okay. Okay. It was racial abuse, and it was hyped up when you made that statue. Okay, I'm trying to end it. Because you thought of all kind of things negative with that statue. So that's considered racial abuse. She want to be free from that fortress, because the fortress is you got her sitting there. Remember, I told you that you take the statue and make it real for a minute. That is a real lady out here like that. That statue is a fortress, right? That statue is there in a fortress, stuck in Times Square, nailed down, or how we got it there. We got a real woman out there that's just like that. She out, and she want to get out the fortress. She homeless somewhere out in the street, wherever she at, and she wants to be not stuck and be in that position. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to end it. I am so trying to end this, Lord. I need an end card. I need an end card. Will you give me an end card? Whoa. Let's see if I can get an end. Let me just look and see if an end card. I'm trying to end it. Okay, let's just see. Just give me an end card. Let me just look for a minute. I gotta see if it's something I can make it end. I'm trying to make it end. Okay, boo-hoo. Okay. Well, you ain't going to jail for nothing because you ain't did anything. So let's just see something. I can turn it around, but I don't know what I'm gonna make it. Let's just look for a minute. I don't know what to make. That card is in here though, so I gotta see. Okay, you need to apologize. Okay. Honorable. Okay. Okay, let's what can be the last one? So we have, what was the last card? Let's see. Oh yeah, racial act. So we have, people feel if you're a man, People feel like you got a nerve. He got a nerve, right? And the other side says putting you on trial. So let me just say this. He got a nerve putting black women on trial. Let me say it like that, because really when you put that statue up there, it's like you made it where the black lady can be judged by that statue you made. Okay. Black ladies trying to avoid you strip searching. This is the taking off of clothes card, and this is a robbery card. So this of you robbing black ladies of their dignity and trying to say all black ladies are like that statue you made, right? If I take it the other way and I take it to the statue like I told you, and we make the statue come alive for a minute and let it be a real lady is actually like that out here, that feel a certain way or might frown like that, have her hands on her hips or whatever it may be. We got a lady out there that's homeless somewhere that might be trying to avoid some man taking off her clothes, right? So, but for you, we're going to say that black ladies trying to avoid you robbing them of their dignity and trying to make it seem like they nobody important. Okay? So, here they are. A queen demands respect, sir. And us black ladies are going to stay in our queenship and stay on our throne. Okay? So you made the statue high like the person can be on the throne. You made it so tall like it's a throne. But the thing is, you didn't put the right, you didn't make the statue the best it could be to be on a throne. Get what I'm saying? You made the statue everything you could think of negative about a black lady. You made that statue like that. You didn't make the statue like the statue was a queen. But you made the statue nice and tall, though so everybody can see, where you trying to humiliate and make sure people can see and not value black ladies or think they just not worth valuing or whatever your thoughts were. Okay? Okay, let's just flow. So we have right here that you wanted people to pick door love and love that statue because you looked at it as artwork, because it is artwork. I do artwork. I love art. I love creativity. I really like the statue. I like any statue because I love that people can actually really make an actual person or make something and make it look real. I really like all that stuff. But with this statue right here is just, you know, how you chose to do that. That's where the problem I have with it, right? Because you're trying to make black ladies look bad, and I'm not for that. Even though the artwork is good because you did your artwork good. But the thing is, I don't like you choosing a black lady and deciding you want to make a black lady seem like she's somebody not to be valued, right? You wanted people to pick door one love and say, oh, I love that. Oh, did you see that? Oh, I love it. It's good. But you didn't get a lot of that, not out of black ladies. You didn't even really get a maybe. Oh, maybe it's good. Majority of them don't like that because they looking at the details, flaws, and everything about that statue. So we have right here's an honorable date and time set for you to put it there. And you did. So let's see the next one. Somebody got paid. So you got paid to put it there, or somebody else paid you to put it there, or however. Or you paid somebody to ask them, could you put it there, or however it's flowing. Somebody who was involved as far as that. But God said right here, you owe an insane apology to black ladies. Right? And now is the time. Right here with this card. God says insane. So we have right here that you felt that you was going to love you first, but you felt like black ladies don't love themselves. You felt like black ladies don't want love for themselves. They don't want the best love. But newsflash, we did. You was going to never stop wanting the best out of love. Right? Yourself, right? And you was going to put that statue there. So you pinpointed an action that helped you up whenever it was. And I guess eventually you got to do a statue or whatever it is, and you decided to have a black lady out of everything you could make. You could have made a fox, you could have made a dog, you could have made an elephant, but you chose a black lady for some reason. You ain't even pick a black lady who was a doctor, a black lady who was a stewardess. You ain't even pick a black lady that's a teacher. You ain't do none of that. So that's what I'm saying. You picked the statue you wanted to make black ladies look a certain kind of way, and that wasn't on a positive note, right? So when little girls look up at it, Mommy, who's that? Oh, you know how children are. No, that wasn't good, sir. So God says right here that you was an idiot. You was an idiot. You had idiot ways of thinking, God said, and you was around a network of them. Whoever was helping you with it or whatever. It's evident, God said, that it was about money. So I don't know if it was an attraction where it was going to drag people there to make money, get my drill, get you money and get the place money, or how it was going to be flowing. Well, somebody paid you or whatever was going on there when you was getting paid or whatever. Number 16, you was analyzing that thing. So you put a margin between you and the statue, or you put a margin between you and black ladies, and that's why you was able to go that hard and make that statue like that to try to, is it deplete, to try to make black ladies look bad. I just can't say it no other way. Right? You wanted it to be where black ladies pretty much feel a certain way about themselves, maybe. Second guess themselves, feel whatever about themselves. You committed a senseless act, and you're going to boo-hoo with that statue. This is a jail card, but I can't make it a jail card because you ain't commit no crime. So you're just going to boo-hoo. And you're going to boo-hoo because some kind of way maybe that statue going to get taken down. So that's going to be a big waste of your work and effort, because you should have thought first before you went and planted a statue of a black lady that wasn't significant. You should have put a lady, like I said, an entrepreneur or somebody who was doing something. If you're going to make a statue of somebody, most of the time these statues, the people, they have some background behind them, positive background. With this lady, wasn't no positive background. You said that, you didn't say, but I heard on the internet that it was just some picture you drew up or whatever you did. So really, you don't even have no background for it. You just want people to think themselves. But you already had thoughts in your mind with each crease you made, this, that, and how you did everything. Because you are artists, and that's how we think. Okay? You wanted a united front. You wanted everybody to agree with that and be fine with that and like it and think it's a Taurus attraction or whatever's going on. You get my drift, right? No more minor crutches. You were strong in that thing because you wanted to be that trailblazer, right? And you wanted jointness from everybody to like your artwork, right? To like what you did. Or to even think how you think. I'm shocked the premeditated cards are not coming out. Strictly yours. So yeah, it was strictly yours. That's so true. But you made sure it was strictly for black ladies. Because that was a black lady you put up there. Because it says right here, strictly mine. It was strictly yours, but you wanted to make sure it was strictly a black lady. What are you going to do about it? Because you want it to be strictly a black lady you put up there for whatever reason. So we have right here the COVID card. So it might have been a lapse in work during COVID time. Or you might have been working on it since COVID time. I don't know. Or you might have some kind of infection or something like that. So let's see. It was time to act and you promised some kind of way you was going to do the statue, or you was going to place it. You was going to challenge it. Self-love is key though, because that was something that you felt like self-love is key. You ain't racist, are you? I see one racist card over there. Only one though, because I'm seeing the self-love. Okay. So we have right here, if we take it and make the statue alive again, like I told you, self-love would be key. If a lady is homeless out there, she had to have self-love, and don't let any man devalue her out in the street, even though she's homeless. Don't take no money from nobody or whatever, because people can assume you or somebody who loose because you're homeless, but that don't mean you are, right? So if we take the statue and make it an actual real woman out here, where is a real woman that's homeless out here in a situation like that don't have a home, right? Walking around with limited light. But we already know that the statue gets limited light, I guess, when, I don't know how much light is in Times Square or whatever, but it's limited light, maybe at nighttime. Okay, this artist was gift seeking, but he needed to filter his ways. But the statue looked like the lady could have been gift seeking because she had her hands on her hips and she might was getting ready to go and attend to something. Maybe something she didn't like, right? Or if we bring the statue alive, like I told you, and you just look at it as somebody out here in real life, we got some man out in the street following behind a lady that's homeless, and he gift seeking, get my drift. But he need to filter his ways, where she might say, what do you want? And the thing is, he put her candle out. And the candle, putting her candle out is a death card. Follow me? But then if we take it to this person who made the statue, ladies might wonder, what do you want? Why would you do that? And they may want him to take that statue down. So I think that's it. So that is it for the statue. Because I love artwork, I love statues. But this statue was not acceptable because we don't need no stars or nobody like that. We need a regular lady, like I'm a regular lady. We need a lady with a business, whatever lady it is, with a business, an entrepreneur, and children can look up at her. You don't need no movie stars from nowhere. People that we can't even touch. We want somebody from whatever neighborhood she live in, and she be the statue. Deep. Okay, you know all about it. You know all about it for this artist. Artiste, right? Artiste, right? With your bright ideas, but right here, God say something went too far. Because you was, right there with this card, you was hell-bent. You was hell-bent on the vice. Destruction. That is putting that up there because somebody knows a secret as far as why you did it. Whoever it might be, a man. Because you went too far. And you gonna want peace because you was vengeful when you did that, because you felt a certain way about black people, black ladies, because we deal with black ladies. Look on the floor for it. So maybe you might take it down. It'd be laying down on the ground, right? Maybe. Who knows? Okay. So if we take it to the statue and we make it a real lady, like I told you, we got some man following a lady that's homeless, who hell-bent on destruction, following some lady that's homeless because she knows a secret about him, whoever he is. She want peace, and something gonna go too far, right? And he gonna be vengeful, and she gonna be on the floor, right? So we're gonna leave it like that, or on the ground or whatever, right? So we're going to leave it like that for the statue, because I had to do one for the statue to see why this man thought it was appropriate and fine to do that. If you're going to put somebody there who own a business. It don't have to be a certain business. We don't need no stars from here, there, and everywhere. We just need a lady in whichever city who have a business, and you get a picture of her or get her, tell her she's coming in and you're going to do the statue, and she's going to look her best. You know how people look their Sunday best? She will look her best. She knows she can already get a statue done on her. She's going to look good. And that's a fact. Beautiful. And then you just put her statue up there. And then some people can read about whoever she is, a real person, right? And then the children, when their mothers tell the story, oh yeah, she a stewardess. I want to be a stewardess when I grow up. Get what I'm saying? You know how children talk. Children look at that statue and they not gonna know that. They not gonna know. They're not gonna even be thinking about. Because what the statue gonna do for them? It's not gonna do anything for them to help them grow any. Get what I'm saying? If you have somebody who own a business, that can help a child grow and think in their mind that one day I can be like her. Get what I'm saying? No. Not one day I can just be mad and have my hands on my hips or whatever they was trying to display with that statue. That wasn't cool. That wasn't good. And all black ladies don't look like that and don't act like that. So no. You owe an apology, an insane apology to the black women. And that's a fact. Because it's not good. We not glad you made a black lady statue. That's not a big deal. If you had a lady who was, like I said, entrepreneur, one of them, we would love that. That would be beautiful. Because you're showing a lady in a positive way. Get what I'm saying? Only. So if you can't do it in a positive way, you can't sit and say we're supposed to look at that and try to dumb ourselves down and feel like we nobody because you feel that way. You should have thought over and over again. But whoever you are, you got some kind of racial tendencies in you. And that's why you did it. Okay, this is the Brass Love 1 here. Let's roll 9 here on YouTube.